Hello friends. I'll give y'all a few seconds to hop on. Let me close this page out here. All right. Hey everybody, I am Brooke and I am so excited that you guys are here joining me tonight for our live. I am a blogger for Walt Express, so thank you for joining me. I'm excited to have you on tonight. As you're watching, give me a wave or a hello, just so I can know that you're here and you can hear me and everything's gravy. And we will jump right in. I'm excited to share with you guys tonight. I am sharing a little bit about some overlooked experiences at Walt Disney World. This is a Disney World edition. That's one of our favorite parks, and so I am going to share with you a little bit about some experiences that maybe you don't know about. Or maybe you just skip over them because you're so excited to do something else. You've missed an experience. Or maybe you've heard about them, but you're not sure about them, that kind of thing. So some of these experiences are things that we, as our family, has visited the parks over time. We have either just happened upon some stuff, or somebody shared it with us and we didn't know about it, and so we got to do it, or you know, some things that we just passed by and it was happening around us and so we stopped. And so I'm going to share a little bit about that with you today. First, I'm going to kind of set up a scene. So my family, there's 4 of us, my husband and myself, and then we have 2 kids. We have a 16-year-old and an 8-year-old, and so their interests are vastly different with their age range. And so these are things that can be fun for everybody of all ages. It doesn't matter what age group you are. This is something that everybody can enjoy. All of these experiences are. So I'm going to jump right in. So the first one that we're going to talk about is over in Animal Kingdom. And Animal Kingdom used to be my least favorite park, and it has slowly become my favorite, or one of my Magic Kingdom's hard to beat, but one of our favorite parks. And so this one is actually kind of tucked in the back corner of Animal Kingdom, and it's called Conservation Station. And if you've ever been out there, y'all can leave a comment and let me know that you've been to the Conservation Station. But this is a really cool experience, something that we overlooked for many years just because it is kind of hidden. You have to kind of find your way back there to experience it, and so sometimes it's also kind of hard to if it's not right in front of your face, you know, it's hard to remember to get back there. And so this is something that's definitely not right in front of your face, but it's a great experience that you won't want to miss out. Hello Chris, thanks for watching. Hello friends, glad y'all are joining us. So this is Conservation Station, and to get out to Conservation Station, like I said, it's in the kind of the back of Animal Kingdom, back towards Africa, and you're actually going to hop on the Wildlife Express train to get there. Yes, there is a train at Animal Kingdom, in case you didn't know that, and it makes a loop. It goes to Conservation Station and back, and so just the train ride itself is enjoyable because if you're like me, you think the hottest place on earth is Animal Kingdom. And so to get on that train ride, and just, it's a breezy train ride. It takes about 7 minutes to get from the island to Conservation Station. And so it's a nice breezy ride, and it's very enjoyable to get out there. And so it takes about 7 minutes, and once you get there, you're going to hop off at the train depot, and you have to kind of take a little pathway to get back to Conservation Station. You kind of look like you might be in the jungle. You might see some wilderness explorers along the way, and as you follow that path, it's just a short walk. As you follow that path back to the Conservation Station, you're actually going to walk into what is known as their petting zoo. So they have a petting zoo. It was closed for COVID purposes, but it's reopened like a lot of things have now at in the parks. And so You first off, right off the bat, you get to experience the petting zoo, and they have all sorts of animals, all sorts of wildlife out at the petting zoo. You also can experience, they have sort of a shaded spot, and you get to experience a little show out there as well. And so it's a great place to sort of, if you have an animal lover in your family, just right off the bat, it's something fun to be a part of. Now, as you make your way inside to the conservation station, you're sort of guided along a path of windows. Now, in this window is what they call the reptile windows. And so there are aquarium after aquarium after aquarium of all sorts of reptiles and bugs and creepy crawlies, all the things that I don't enjoy, but a lot of kids do for some reason. And so thankfully they are behind glass, and so you're safe, they won't get you. But it's really, really cool and really, really neat to get to see and walk by and see all the different kinds of reptiles that they have. There's some tarantulas and snakes and all sorts of creepy crawly things in those windows. And so you sort of walk along the path to see those windows, and you kind of keep going. I mean, it's not a huge path, but it's enough to enjoy, and you sort of wind your way around, and you will eventually make your way to another window where they teach you about all the different foods that the animals at Animal Kingdom eat. And there's a funny little thing that you kind of get to see while you're there about the different kinds of food they eat, and then what it looks like when it comes out. Which is kind of gross, but it's really enjoyable for the kids to get to see what that might look like. And so that's part of Conservation Station as well. And then something that's really exciting about Conservation Station is, as you're going through these windows and seeing the reptiles and the different foods that they eat and those kinds of things, there's actually a vet clinic behind these windows. And so this is where the doctors actually take care of the animals that are at Animal Kingdom. So it's really cool to watch, something that our family got to experience that is not a guarantee that you'll get to see, but it's kind of the right place, right time kind of thing. And there's a couple of those experiences in here, but they're really cool when you get to experience them. Something that our family got to witness was they actually did a surgery on a bird while we were there. And so you can actually, in the graphic for this live event, you can see one of the pictures that we took while we were there. And it's actually the doctors operating on the birds. And so you can see where they've got a gas mask on their face to kind of knock them out for anesthesia. And we sat there and watched the whole thing. They knocked this bird out. They did whatever kind of, it may not have even been a surgery. It could have just been some sort of a procedure that this animal was having. And then they woke him up and they took him to recovery, and we got to witness the whole thing. And it was this huge picture window, and there was plenty of room for everybody to see. And it was so cool because, you know, it's not every day that you get to witness an animal being operated on. And so we sort of got that immersive experience, that firsthand look at what the doctors are actually doing at Animal Kingdom. And so, you know, when you go on the ride for the Kilimanjaro Safari, you see all these animals, but it's kind of hard to think, well, how are they taken care of? Well, Disney's doing a great job. They have state-of-the-art equipment and a state-of-the-art facilities that they get to take care of these animals in. And so we got to be a part of that. So we were really excited to get to experience that. And like I said, that specific experience is just something that we were in the right place at the right time to get to do. And but you got to get out there to see it, right? You got to get out there to maybe be a part of that. And so definitely Conservation Station is one of our favorite stops at Animal Kingdom, and it's an often overlooked experience that you can have. Hey Carrie, good to see you. Thank you guys for watching. Hand us a wave, or give us a wave, let us know you're here. So yeah, Conservation Station, that was our number one. All right, so our second overlook experience, we're still in Animal Kingdom, and we're still at Conservation Station. Like I said, Conservation Station is kind of tucked away in the back of Animal Kingdom, so it's kind of difficult to see. You can't see it from inside the park. You have to, like I said, take that train ride out there to even see it. But once you get out there, there's so much more to it than just the petting zoo and the windows. And one of those experiences is the animation experience. And you think, well, you're in Animal Kingdom. It's you would think maybe that fits somewhere in a different park. But they do. They have animation experience. And so while you're in the conservation station building, you will see on the right-hand side that there is there's a line, there's a queue that you wait in, and then you'll come upon some theater style seating, and an actual Disney animator, once you get into your seat, an actual Disney animator will walk you through drawing a Disney character. And so they equip you. You get a clipboard and you get a special piece of paper that says the Disney Animation Experience, and it's got some guidelines depending on which character you're drawing. So there's already some guidelines that are printed on these pieces of paper, and then the Disney animator actually walks you through how to draw a certain character. So when we did it, we drew Simba from The Lion King, but they have other characters that they will draw with you as well. I think Zazu is one of them, and Squirt from Finding Nemo is one of them, and they've got a couple of others, and I think they add some new ones every once in a while, and then they rotate those out. So when you show up, you don't know which character you're going to draw, but you can ask the cast member and they'll tell you, and then maybe later if you want to come back and draw a different character or whatever, you can do that. But that's one of our favorite experiences. If you have somebody in your family who loves to draw, or just has an interest in Disney animation, that is a great opportunity to get kind of like hands-on experience as to how animators create these characters. And they really make it a fun experience, because a lot of times they'll tell you stories, they will make jokes all throughout the experience, and so it really is a fun way to get involved and to get to experience that side of Disney. Animation is kind of fascinating to me, how they make these characters and how they're able to draw them the same way every single time and that kind of thing. And so it's just a really fun experience to get to have while you're in the parks. And let me mention, while you're in this building, they have some glorious air conditioning happening in these buildings. And so that alone is worth the train ride out to Conservation Station, just to have some time to cool off. Like I said, I swear Animal Kingdom's the hottest place ever. So, it's a great way to cool down. So that's one of our next favorite experiences. And the animation experience actually takes about 25 minutes to go through the whole thing. The whole class is about 25 minutes. And it just depends on how long it takes you to finish drawing, that kind of thing. And then you get to keep your drawing at the end as a souvenir. And so that's a really great way to, have an additional fun experience at Walt Disney World. All right, up to our next experience is going to be, this is one of those right place, right time moments that we had as a family. We didn't know that this was a thing until it happened to us. And so, but it was super fun, super cool, super exciting, and we were excited to get to experience it. And so, when you have a fun experience, you want to tell other people about it, right? And so this is something that I love to share with other people, that you might get to do as well. Again, not a guaranteed experience, but if you get to do it, it's a lot of fun. Have you ever heard of the First Family Experience at Hollywood Studios? So if you've done this, I want to know, because only one person gets to be the first family of the day at this actually takes place at Hollywood and Vine, the restaurant, where they have character dining at Hollywood Studios. So if you've done this, I want to know, because I feel like it's a thing. So like I said, this is an experience at Hollywood and Vine in Hollywood Studios, and we actually we were the first to check in for our dining reservation at the Disney Junior play and dine breakfast at Hollywood and Vine. And we had no idea what we were getting into when we did this. So we were the first to check in, and everybody kind of, because it's the first, reservation of the morning, we just sort of were waiting outside for the doors to open. Well, all of a sudden they start calling out our family's last name, and so they open the doors and close the doors behind us. Nobody else comes in behind us, and we were like, okay. And what happened was we got a one-on-one character meet and greet experience with all of the dining characters at Hollywood and Vine for their their Disney Junior Play and Dine breakfast buffet. So we got to meet Sophia and Jake and Goofy and one other, Doc McStuffins. And it was so much fun. We had no idea this was going to happen, but when we walked in, they were all standing there waiting on us to walk in, and we just had the most fun with them. We got our one-on-one time. They took our picture. They gave us a special certificate that said the Hemphills were the first family of the day. It was so much fun. Yes, Carrie, the AC at Animal Kingdom, at Conservation Station was best. But yeah, so this was such a fun experience, and like I said, it was a great surprise for us because we didn't know what we were doing. It wasn't something we had planned for, but it was just a little bit of Disney magic that we'll talk about for the rest of our lives. And so I wanted to give you a couple of tips to see if you wanted to try to be the first family of the day, a couple of tips to kind of help you. This is kind of what we did, and so like I said, we didn't mean to, but it worked out for us. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips. So the first thing is first two things is, one, you have to have a park reservation to Hollywood Studios. You have to have a ticket and the reservation to get into Hollywood Studios, as long as that's going on. And then you also have to have a dining reservation to Hollywood and Vine. And so I suggest getting one of the first reservations for breakfast that morning if you want to do this. You don't have to have the very first reservation, but one of the first reservations, 8:15, something like that, whenever the first one starts, you need to have one of those very first ones. The second thing that you need to do is to get to the park early. So don't show up at Hollywood Studios at 8 o'clock and think you're going to get in at 8 o'clock. That's not going to happen. You need to be at least an hour early, if not maybe an hour and 15 minutes early to get into Hollywood Studios. And at the time, Star Wars wasn't open yet. Galaxy's Edge was not a thing. They were still building it. And so that park specifically is super busy right now because of that. And so you just need to get there a little bit early. The third thing you need to do is when you arrive at the park and you get through your security station, you're actually going to go head to the left, and there's going to be a line just for dining reservations. And so they do that because they know that you have to make a reservation for your meal, and so they give you a separate line. Now, before you can ever get past them, they're going to scan your ticket or your armband to make sure that you have a ticket and that you have a dining reservation. So they won't let you, because this line actually kind of gets to go ahead, and they won't let you do that unless you have those two things. So it's not like you can get in earlier by going to that line. You have to have the dining reservation to do that. And so when you get in that line, you want to be one of the first couple of people, maybe 2 or 3, 4 people in line. You want to be pretty close to the front, because they're going to scan you one by one, because there's not multiple cast members that stand right there. There's only one, and so they're going to scan each of you one by one. So you want to be towards the front of that line. And then the next thing you're going to do is when you get in, you're going to go straight to Hollywood and Vine. A lot of people want to stop and take pictures and see all the things, and it's a glorious thing. They want to do all that. But if you want to be the first family, you better go straight to Hollywood and Vine. And you're going to see the receptionist at the reservation desk, and you're going to go to her and tell her you're there to check in. It doesn't matter if you're the 8:15 reservation, because you're going to check in anyways. And so if you're the first to check in, you get to be the first family. And so those are just a few tips to maybe have a shot at being the first family of the day at Hollywood and Vine. And that's kind of or I didn't know, maybe y'all do. If you do, or if you've been there, let me know in the comments. But we had no idea that that was an experience that we would get to have. And so again, just another little bit of Disney magic for us. All right, moving on to the next overlooked experience at Walt Disney World. And this might seem obvious, but maybe it's not. I'm not sure. Is the Disney Skyliner. If you've been on the Disney Skyliner, let me know. I have been on it several times, but the first time I did it, I was a little hesitant because, you know, it was new and you're suspended like 300 feet in the air. And so it's sort of like its own ride at Disney, right? And so the Skyliner, it's a lot of fun for us. We like being able to utilize it. It goes to 2 parks. It goes to Epcot and Hollywood Studios. And at Hollywood Studios, the pickup center is right in the front of the park. At Epcot, it's at the entrance near the World Showcase. So over by the Boardwalk, Beach Club, Yacht Club, those resorts, the entrance to the Skyliner there is at that entrance at Epcot. So this was built in 2019, so it's relatively new. And if you haven't been to Disney in a while, or if maybe you've never been, it's really new to you guys. And so it's a fun transportation option. After a long day in the parks, everybody's headed to the bus stops or, you know, to your cars in the parking lot, and you have to walk a long way to get there, that kind of thing. The Skyliner's a great option to ride to your resort if you have access at your resort. So let me tell you some of the resorts that have access to Disney Skyliner. It's going to be the Art of Animation Resort, Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort, Disney's Pop Century Resort, and the newest resort to open at Walt Disney World, which is Disney's Riviera Resort. So all of those have access to the Skyliner transportation from your resort. Disney Riviera, they actually have their own private access, so you have to be staying at Riviera to get on at Riviera. Now you can visit and get off, but it's a really cool option to have for transportation. And like I said, let me tell you, if you have little kids and they're in a stroller at Disney, if you carry your kids in a stroller, our 8-year-old just recently got to be too big for the stroller. But the best thing is you don't have to break your stroller down. You can drive that baby right on top of onto the gondola, and if they're conked out at the end of the day, you don't have to get them out. You don't have to break that stroller down. Parents, I see you. It's kind of great to not have to do that. It just rolls right on, rolls right off. It's great. So, like I said, if you've never seen these, think of a ski lift, but enclosed. And so it's got great ventilation system. They play Disney music throughout the ride. It's got bench seating, and so there's plenty of space in each one. And it's so much fun to ride. It's kind of an experience all in itself. So if you haven't gotten on the Skyliner, make sure you check that out while you're on vacation. All right, my next overlooked experience. Again, maybe it's an obvious one and maybe it's not. I don't know. Are the Disney cavalcades. So a cavalcade is just another word for a parade. And every single park has a parade of some sort. Now, right now, they're a little different because some of the characters are different and that kind of thing. But at all times, they have parades throughout your trip. A mistake that we made was not carving out time to sit and watch these parades. And it's a great way to get to see all of your favorite Disney characters, especially if your kids are looking forward to seeing a certain character. You can carve out time in your trip to be able to sit and watch them come by. And I will tell you, Disney characters are so great at seeing each person in the crowd, especially if you're sort of right at the front line of the sidewalk watching. They're so good to wave and point out your child or you. I'm an adult, but I love Pocahontas. So when she comes on the boat around Discovery Island at Animal Kingdom, I'm going to wave at her, and she almost always waves back. And so you still kind of get that one-on-one experience with the character, even though it's not a meet and greet per se. You still get to have that experience with the characters because they're so good at what they do, and they're so magical, and they want everybody to have that experience. And so the Disney cavalcades are something you can't miss. So I'm going to tell you a few in each park so you don't miss them while you're here. At Magic Kingdom, they have Mickey and Friends will come by. They also have the Royal Princesses, and they come on the mirrored castle car that comes by. It's amazing. All of the Royal Princesses are on it, and so it's wonderful, and they are led in by Merida on her horse, and so that's a great parade to see. The Dapper Dans, if you get there in the mornings, for sure, they're always out in the mornings, and they come by on a little trolley car and they sing their songs, and it's so fun. And then you also can see Tinkerbell, and she comes by herself on her lost treasure. She's sitting on top, and she's really great to wave and to do that one-on-one experience as well. Over in Animal Kingdom, you can see Pocahontas and Meeko. I think I told you that a second ago. They actually are on a boat at Animal Kingdom, and so they're going down the river around Discovery Island. You can also see Chip and Dale on those boats. The Discovery Island drummers are always on those boats. They're so much fun. Mickey and Minnie, Goofy and Daisy, Donald and Daisy, Goofy's on there. I think Goofy's on with Chip and Dale, I believe. You can see all your favorite characters at Animal Kingdom as well. Hollywood Studios, you get to see Fancy Nancy and The Incredibles, and you can see Doc McStuffins. She drives the Doc McStuffins car, so that's fun. And then over in Epcot, you can find Elsa and Anna from Frozen. They come by, and Mickey and Friends, you can see them as well. So, like I said, some people love the cavalcades, and they're going to carve out all the time to see all of every option. That was something that our family overlooked, and we won't do it again because, like I said, it's the best way to see all of your favorite characters in one place. You don't have to wait in line. You don't have to happen upon them in the parks and wave at them from a distance. It's a great opportunity to get to see all your favorites. So don't miss the parades. All right, and finally, my last but not least, and probably one of my new favorite overlooked experiences is over at Hollywood Studios at the Mickey Shorts Theater. Has anybody hopped in to see the Mickey Shorts Theater? Has anybody experienced that? I would love to know. Let me know in the comments. This is something that we had not done because we're the kind of family that we want to do all of the things. And so a lot of times we skip some of the slower stuff because we want to get in line for Space Mountain or Seven Dwarfs Mine Train or Slinky Dog Dash or Hollywood Tower of Terror. We want to do all the big rides, Soarin' at Epcot and those kinds of things. And so sometimes we kind of skip some of the slow-paced experiences. And so the Mickey Shorts Theater that's in Hollywood Studios is probably one of my new favorite experiences that we will do every single time we go. For one, it's air conditioned. Can y'all tell I don't like to be hot? It is air conditioned, and it is not super crowded, and so you kind of get to soak up all of that air conditioned experience. But it actually is a theater. It's Mickey Mouse themed, and so all the seat backs look just like Mickey Mouse's shorts. And they play a little vacation. It's called Vacation Fun, and it's just a little, it's about 10 minutes. It's a little video that they play, and it's a short film. and it's all about Mickey and Minnie going on vacation. And you've got to go and watch this short. It's if you've seen Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, it's kind of think that animation style, and the whole thing is about Mickey and Minnie going on vacation and all the experiences that they get to experience along the way. And of course, some of them are little funny experiences that you get to see, and I won't spoil it for you, but you got to go in there and watch it. It's so much fun. And then once you're done with the movie, you actually get ushered out a different exit and into a fun photo opportunity. So they have all these backdrops with scenes from the movie that you can take your picture at, and it's so much fun. And it was something that we had never seen before. We'd never experienced it. We never slowed down enough to take the time to appreciate what it was. And so that's the my new favorite experience that you cannot overlook while you are at Walt Disney World, and especially at Hollywood Studios. So everywhere you turn, there's something fun to experience at Walt Disney World. I hope that you get to experience some of these overlooked experiences. I hope that you enjoy them. And if you ever become the first family at Hollywood Studios, I want you to drop a line and let me know. I want to see it. If you're watching this in the replay, just leave hashtag replay so I can say hey to you when you are watching it. And I appreciate you joining me here tonight on Walt Express Blog. Join us again on Saturday. We have another live coming up on Saturday. I believe it is a DIY recipe, maybe a copycat or something, I'm not sure. But make sure you join us here on Saturday again for another live, and we appreciate you joining us tonight. See you soon. Bye.